Hello, my name is
Yeah.
Sierra or Zobi. I am a freelance esports commentator. I mainly work in Game Changers and the collegiate space right now, but I'm looking hopefully to do VCT one day. I just like to use my interviews to get to know the players and where they're at like pivotal points in the season. So obviously we're getting ready for kickoff.
Yep.
So yeah, you particularly, right? It's been kind of a quiet off season after the for those who dare, right? It's been like more of a focus on content, kind of. How has that been? Have you been Stockholm syndromed and enjoying content yet?
No.
No.
No, I do not have Stockholm syndrome. Today was we got here at the studio at like 8:30.
Ooh,
So it is 5 p.m. now, so like yeah, I'm good, but it's fine. I don't like it, but part of the job, we make good money, so I can suck it up,
it's true. I was saying Hundred
but
Thieves
it's
was doing like
awful.
a lot of content during the off season, so I was like,
Yeah,
oof,
we've been doing some good content.
cool. Speaking of the off season, NA in particular had like a pretty big roster mania and a lot of shifts, but 100 Thieves was pretty mild, obviously, just switching Bang out for Xander, which makes sense since runner up at Ascension. How has it been kind of in Prax and getting used to him being a part of the roster since it's been like you were one of the earlier announcements of the rosters this season.
Yeah, we've Jesus.
No rush.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, we've been practicing since what is it? I don't even know. Like no, or like very early November, or
Hmm.
even a little bit before that. So we've had like a good 2 months of practice, or like two and a half, three. I don't know the exact day we started, but yeah, it's been a minute. And then with Xander, I'd say it's gone really well. He's like pretty similar to Bang playstyle wise.
Okay.
And then vocally, he's like a lot more talkative. So he brings a lot of ideas like mid round, and like I think it's good when he like speaks up. So that's good. And yeah, I think it's definitely a benefit that we kept, 4 players out of the 5 compared to a lot of these other teams. So I'm pretty confident going into kickoff.
Cool. And speaking of kickoff, obviously I feel like I don't want to speak for you, but obviously you like maybe wanted to do better last season since you did only get to go to the one global event. So with you only changing then one player, what do you think is different for the roster this season that's going to make you guys be more successful than you were last season?
Yeah, I think we got to reflect a lot in the offseason, like at least the 4 players and the head coach, because we were together the whole year, and like split one of Americas, we had like a winning formula. Like we were probably
Yeah.
considered the top 2
Hmm.
team in the world, probably. Like we were coming into Shanghai like very highly rated.
Yeah.
Like us and PRX were definitely like I think the highest rated at the time, maybe
Agree.
Gen G as well. So it's like we had a winning formula, and like we know how to win. So, just like reviewing that and trying to get back to that level, I think will be easier this year since did it before, just we fell off.
Hmm.
So I think that was a big focus in the off season, like when we started practicing, is like what made us as good as we were. Like we need to do that again. So we tried to incorporate all those things that made us good, and only replacing one player makes it pretty easy for him to just try to absorb that knowledge and then just play with us. So I think it's been good. And yeah, I think I've been a little unlucky with these early season tournaments. Like EG 2023, I won one match and then got eliminated. And then 2024, we went 0-2. And then yeah, it's this year now, which our bracket's not easy. It's like we have
Yeah.
MIBR. Yeah, MIBR is like could be really good, and then Sen's of course going to be pretty good. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I have some questions on that later, so I'm glad you mentioned it. But speaking of something else that you mentioned, you talked about falling off as well. With the new like format, I guess, right? They're waiting the end of the championship season, kind of higher, even just like the normal like VCT America season points, depending on how far you get into playoffs. So, how are you guys going to make sure that like you guys don't burn out, that you keep that level of consistency once you fine tune that formula for those later, more impactful events that have championship points on the line?
Yeah, I know kickoff. I don't know the exact points, but I know you get
It's
points
like
for
five,
doing
four,
well.
three, and it's like seven down or something for the later ones.
Yeah, I mean, so it's important to win early now because literally last year there was no point. Okay, not no point, but there was pretty much no point to go to those early tournaments because only first place from Americas and from Masters gave you points.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't get points for getting second place, but now I think in kickoff you get points for first, second, third, and fourth. So like doing good in these tournaments, even getting third, sucks you don't go to a Masters, but like at least you get kickoff or champs points, which is huge.
Mhm. Cool. All right. And so we talked about kind of like team level, like things you want to change and work on coming into this season. How about you though? Like obviously we're our world champions 2 seasons ago. Had a little bit quieter of a season last season. How do you think? Like, what are your big takeaways from last season that you're bringing in as an individual player in this season?
Yeah, I think I've learned a lot as a player. Like, e.g., 2023, I was super comfortable like in like how I played, like just like on the map. And then in 2024 with 100T, I kind of had to learn a different play style and play pretty differently. So I think like mechanically and like just overall as a player, I was definitely weaker in 2024. Like you said, like I was definitely quieter, especially as a player. Because I still think like on 100T, like anyone would consider that like a good season,
Hmm.
but like as a team. But
Yeah,
like
for
it
sure.
definitely did feel quieter for me. So I think getting a year playing this style, and then now getting that year, I think I'll perform like I did in EG 2023, where I'll be having a lot of high impact.
Cool. And speaking of EG 2023, I kind of got to talk with Com earlier because obviously Lev changed where Demon One kind of went from being on energy with Ethan to then shifting over now to play with Corbin. How do you kind of have a similar sentiment where you want to individualize yourself from that EG 2023 team and like make your own kind of story and legacy in your own individual performance?
Mm, I don't know, cause like, uh, I mean, of course, I want to have my own individual
Yeah.
story, but like at the same time, it's like, I'm really proud of what we did on EG, and like, even if that was my only like legacy or story, like I said, I want to be a winner, so like I don't actually feel this way, but like I know in like 20 years, even if I become a loser and don't win anything for the next 20 years or however long my career is, I'll be able to look back at the EG days and be like, there was no team better than us, and like what we did was insane for NA, and it's like was special. So like, of course, I want to win, make a new legacy on 100T. I want 100T to be a winning org. They do a lot for us,
Hmm.
but I do know, you know, 10, 20 years from now, I'll look back and still love my legacy no matter what happens.
Cool. And speaking of legacy in your career, you're still, going strong with the joke of I'll do this and then retire. Well, I know you just tweeted
Mhm,
about the bundle and saying if you make enough money.
mhm.
What do you think is a must accomplish then for your career before you would even consider retiring?
Must
Especially
accomplish.
since you've already won
I,
champs, for
I
example.
want to win a Masters.
Okay.
I've won. Well, I would love to win champs because it's more money for me. So champs is always the best because you just make unreal money. But winning a Masters, I think, would probably put me like the most winning IGL of all time. Because right now, I think in the franchise era, not before franchising,
Hmm.
I think Boaster has like 2 master wins. But I think overall, like well, see, I don't know, but I just want to win a Masters, so I'm the most winning IGL of all time. I think that would give me it.
That makes sense. Cool. All right. And then you kind of touched on this a little bit, and this is kind of like my last question is obviously your matchup starts with MIBR. Like you said, you would go up against Sentinels after that. What do you think of their new additions and their pickups? Obviously, Osboss and then the Sentinel changes as well with Narrate coming in. How are you gauging them and how you'll stack up against them?
I think our bracket is really hard, but if we want to win the tournament, I kind of like the bracket because it's like I think MMBR will be good, but I don't think they're like probably like a top 3 or 4 team. Sen potentially could be that top 3 or 4 team. So it's like we're gonna play a hard match against MMBR. They're gonna be
Yeah.
good. They have Aspas, who's the best player in the world. So it's gonna be hard. So if we can win that game, I think it will give us a lot of confidence and momentum going into this Sen match where they have not played on stage yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bang's gonna be shitting himself because he's on Sen now. And then Narrate, I got to play with Narrate actually in the off season,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. To like play in like not a team setting, but it's like a competitive,
Pug setting. Yeah.
more than ranked. It's like we're like a team, like competing in a tournament for like 2 days or something. So I did get to see a lot of his qualities, which I think really is gonna help me out when I call against them and kind of can maybe abuse it a little bit. So that's kind of nice. So I think we're set up to do really well. We just have to win this first match, and then I think we could be going a run.
Cool. And even if not, obviously double elim, so you'll get your chance in the lowers.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
cool. That's all I had for the interview. I know you said you've had a long day, so I won't keep you any longer. Thank you again for
Thank you.
agreeing to chat, and good luck at VCT kickoff.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a
Have a
good
good
night.
day. Oh, you too.